Hello and welcome to episode 6 of the No Dumping Podcast. I am joined today by my co-host Landon.
What's up?
And special guest Michael Patterson.
Hey.
How's it hanging, brother?
Good.
Yeah, that's it?
Yeah,
That's all you got for me?
Just good. Just good. I'm chilling, hanging out.
We just got back from Buffalo Wild Wings and Landon here. It didn't take
Just
too kind.
dropped about 6 pounds in the bathroom as soon as I walked in the door.
It did not take too kind to him. It was pretty rough.
The funny part is I'm probably going to go home, heat those up, and eat them.
Again. Oh, it's your fault for getting whatever, the kicking jalapeno or something like that?
Jamming jalapeno.
Jamming jalapeno. So that's even worse. I'm literally
Something jamming coming out.
It ain't jamming out. That stuff is shooting out.
It was spraying out. Tell you what.
Here we go. Swing it back around to poop. Almost every episode, Michael, so far, I know you haven't listened to any of our episodes, but almost every single episode that we've recorded so far, we've talked about poop at least once in every episode.
It wasn't planned at first, but now it just kind of happened.
Now it just
Go back
happens.
and listen to some of those.
Dude, the podcasts are freaking funny. Still up to date. Potty Mouth is my favorite episode. If you're listening right now and you haven't listened to Potty Mouth, go listen to it. Stop this
Said
right
that
now.
for the past 2 episodes.
Well,
They get it.
I'm going to keep
That
drilling.
one- the best one.
The person I was telling you about earlier that said she listened to our podcast said that the one where we just asked questions was her favorite.
Oh, really? What
I
was
forgot
it?
what we-
Introduction to Idiocy,
Yeah.
episode 3. Yeah, that was a good one. I thought it was pretty good. Nice one.
You guys should have like a Q&A, like have people ask questions and you answer them.
We want to, but like now that I've got an
I
actual...
think we have like 12 subscribers.
No, I think it's like...
There's 12 questions.
Yes, sir! That's like a
Instead of
10-minute segment.
Instead of 21 questions, it's 12 questions.
12 questions. But now that we have now that I have a PC that can actually, run something without trying to shoot itself in the face, we were trying to get more subscribers. That way we can start doing like live streams, like having live podcasts and people comment or send in questions in the live chat.
On Twitch.
Twitch or Twitch or whatever the frick you want to call it.
YouTube gaming.
YouTube.
Gaming.
If only. We wanted to.
Okay, when you were little, Michael, what was that YouTube account you had where you posted those clips of like
Big Mac plays.
yeah, Big Mac plays.
Wait, what was on this channel?
Just stupid videos of like fat Michael.
Yes.
Like fat high pitched voice Michael.
Yes.
I might have to go back and watch some
Doing
of that.
some nasty things.
I don't know if they're still on there. They might be.
I feel like Big Mac Plays isn't on there anymore.
Big Mac plays, as in like a McDonald's Big Mac?
Yeah, because
Yeah.
I think one
Is that
time
what you named yourself?
I think one time we called him Big Mac because he was fat.
Okay.
He was fat, and
terrible.
his name was Michael. Well, when I was little, my friend group used to call me MC Donalds because the NWA, we all had like spins on their names. So
MC Dog.
one of them was like, instead of Ice Cube, it was like Ice Water or something like that. And then there's a guy in that group called MC Ren.
Mm-hmm.
But since I was fat, they called me MC Donalds.
That is terrible.
So I got called MC Donalds as a kid because I was big.
I think there was like I didn't have many nicknames coming through like primary school, but when I got into middle school, I had this one nickname that stuck because there was this jerk that lived in my neighborhood, and even though his assessment was right because my head was incredibly large when I was a child. I would ride my scooter through the neighborhood, and every time he'd see me, he'd be like, "Hey, yo, what's up, Jimmy Neutron?" And then everyone called me Jimmy Neutron because I had a fat head.
Remember, Eric, on your old Instagram account, or maybe your current one, and you just deleted the old post, you had some picture where you had like this red bandana wrapped around your ginormous head.
Yeah.
That was bigger.
was
bigger than your body. At like
It made
age
me look
8.
like it made me look like a cancer
He
patient.
did look like a kid.
And I wore those like green rimmed sunglasses
Yeah.
that glue in the dark. No, they weren't even sunglasses. They were just regular glasses that had green rims on them, and they would glow in the dark. And I thought they were the coolest thing on the planet. And like in all reality, I just looked retarded.
Nothing brings down my self-esteem more than going through Sister Helms, our teacher's old pictures of us.
She finds the worst
because,
pictures to
like,
post.
I didn't know I was that fat until I'm looking back on it now. I'm like, oh my lord, kid. Lay off the chicken nuggets, bro.
Dude, she'll take a bunch of pictures, and even if some of them look decent, she'll just find the worst ones to post and post those instead. I'm sure she gets a kick out of it.
Nothing's better than your driver's license picture.
Oh, the driver's license. If you have a good-looking driver's license picture, like you're lying. You don't. No one has a good driver's
Let's
license.
compare the driver's license.
Yeah, hold on.
Oh, here we go.
I think I'm gonna win for the worst.
Those of you who are loyal patrons, maybe we'll post pictures of our driver's license photos on the Patreon for extra content for you guys.
Eric, that's bad.
Okay, never mind. Eric wins. Why was your hair brushed? Why was your hair slicked back, bro?
Dude, I look like... Yo, what was that one? I know this is about to sound really mean, but that one girl on Instagram that was famous for a while that was like really, really skinny and bald and...
Oh,
You know what I'm talking about?
I know who you're talking about. I don't know the name though.
I don't know her name.
Mine looks like I just killed my family, and I'm really excited about it.
Pro tip, go in to take your driver's license photo stoned. That way when you get pulled over stoned, you look normal. It's like, no, bro, this is what I always look like.
I always drive like this.
It's like, you always look like a crackhead? He's like, yeah.
I was born with my eyes red.
Like an albino.
It's a medical term.
It's called,
Medical condition. My bad. Not.
I read disease.
I read disease.
Disease.
I read
It's
decease.
called constant pink eye. It's really bad. You might want to back up from my car a little bit.
Dude, I'm itching right now just thinking about it.
If an officer pulls you over and you scream that you have COVID,
Do they go away?
No, they just put a mask on and then book you.
Oh,
What
did
if
they
you
book
cough
you
on
even? What if you cough on them? Just as soon as you run on the
Just
window,
start coughing.
just go, like right in his face.
6 feet, 6 feet,
6 feet. Get back. Get back.
You pull out a tape measure and you just you run it out.
Put it on his chest and be like, keep backing up. Go,
Little
go.
A little more.
Right.
Hey,
right
I'll
there.
throw you my driver's license. How about that?
I'll toss you my license and registration.
And then you just toss him like a dead credit card and you pull off real fast. That would have been great. There was one time that me and Landon got pulled over that he almost ran away from the cops.
Oh my god.
He wasn't going, like, he made the joke, but I don't think he was actually going to do it. Maybe.
I
don't know.
wasn't gonna do it alone, but if Eric would have been like, "Yeah, let's do it," I would have been getting out of the
So
car.
it was after church one night. We
got pulled over. We were going to meet Courtney and all them at
Yeah.
Taco Bell, and we got pulled over in that Walmart parking lot.
He pulled me over because it was a doozy. It's because my tags were expired, my tail light was out, and he said that my headlights were illegal.
Yeah, the red
Dang.
lights.
And then when I went to pull out my registration was expired and my insurance was
Oh my
expired.
God.
So the cop walked back to his car, and I unbuckled my seatbelt.
And then he looked
And I sat up a little bit,
and grabbed the door.
And I looked at Eric, put my hand on the door handle, and I was like, "You want to run from the cops?" And he was like, "What?" And I was like, "Imagine the story, bro, that we ran from the cops." And he was like, "I'm not trying to get shot, Landon. Sit back
Honestly.
down."
It's like I wasn't trying to get tased in the Walmart parking lot in front of Courtney and Hannah, all right, and Cassidy.
So they saw that y'all got pulled over?
Yeah, they took a video of it. They were driving by because they saw they recognized my car and they were like, "Oh my God, Eric's gotten pulled over." So they pulled into the Walmart parking lot and started videoing me on the side of the road with the cops behind
Imagine
me.
getting pulled over in the shag wagon.
Oh, the shag wagon. For those of you who don't know, all throughout high school, right up until I graduated, I drove
A mom van.
I drove a 2000 blue Dodge minivan, and it was the
Battle
it was
bus.
the shit with there were a bunch of different names for it. It was the dumpster on wheels, the battle bus, the shaggin' wagon, but I don't think I did. I got pulled over once in my old van. It was because I was texting and driving.
Dang.
But other than that, me and Grant almost got pulled over because the alignment on that van was off so bad that if you let go of the wheel for a second, you're in the ditch.
Yeah.
So I let go of the wheel for a second when me and him were on our way back from work one day, and I drifted over into the left lane, and the cop thought that I was drunk. He pulled me over and he was like, "You been drinking today?" And I looked at him I was covered in paint because I was just getting off of work. I looked at him and I looked down at my clothes and I was like, "Does it look like I've been drinking today?" And he was like, "Fair enough."
You should have messed with him. He'd be like, no. And then
Yo,
once he
that's-
tests you, he'd just be like 0-0, be like, ha.
That's my dream is just to get pulled over because someone thinks I'm drunk. to act absolutely
Wasted.
And then they give me like the breathalyzer test, and I come back negative, and they're just like, I guess you're free to go.
Freak yeah, bro. That would be a very
Or-
interesting story.
If I'm driving by myself at like night or something to where they won't really be able to see, is to like unbuckle my seatbelt and get in the passenger seat. So when they come up to the window, I'm just like, dude ran.
He was here a second ago.
I don't know where he went.
Lord, I'm trying to think of like the worst thing that's happened to me, like getting pulled over. Ooh, freaking! I wasn't driving, but me and Christian were on our way back from Florida. I think that was like this year, like in March, like early March. No, it was last year when we went to Orlando. He was like, it was the last leg. Like we were 45 minutes away from our house, and he was driving. Like he was supposed to drive from Atlanta to my house.
Yeah.
Right. We were 45 minutes away from my house over here on 411, and kid, like he's in my BMW, and he's like normally he drives a Nissan, so he was hauling this thing as fast as it could go. He goes through a intersection on a yellow light going 75 in a 40. And the cop that pulled him over, like he pulled over on the side of the road, and then the cop like got on the loudspeaker and he was like, "Pull into the next subdivision." And then Christian goes, "What?" And I was like, "Do what he says." And I was like, "You want to get pulled out of a car today?" So we pull in, and then he gets him up, and he was like, you know, the classic, "You have any idea how fast you were going?" And then Christian goes, like, Christian is literally shaking. Like, I have a video of it on my phone because he was so nervous. He was like, he looked at me and he was like, "Eric, this is the worst thing I've ever done." And I was like, "Speeding?"
Really? Speeding?
I was
That's
like,
the top of your list?
Speeding is the worst thing that you've done? I was like, "Buddy, we got to get your count up." But he's like shaking.
Those are rookie numbers.
I hand him the registration of the car, and he's like, "Is this your car?" And then I leaned over and I was like, "Actually, officer, it's my car." I was like, he was taking the shift and we were driving home, and he was like, "Oh, okay." He goes back to his car, does all this stuff, comes back with 2 tickets.
Oh, dang.
1 ticket for speeding and 1 ticket for quote unquote running the red light when he definitely didn't. He went through it on yellow, but he gave him the ticket for running the red light. It was like
That's gay.
a $400 ticket.
Oh my
Super
God.
retarded.
And then when he
Didn't
when he
Christian
finished-
recently have to go to driving school?
Yeah, because of
speeding.
Because he got too many points off his license.
Dang.
And then, like, when the cop came back to the car and handed him the tickets, he just, like, leaned down to where he could see me through the car, and he said, "You should tell your friend to slow down." And then he left. And I was like,
Hey, boys,
yeah.
I'm not going to lie. Kind of got bubble tummy again.
Oh.
So,
Oh my gosh.
y'all can keep this one going since there's another member. But I'm going to go drop one, so I shall return.
He's not going to be back.
Yeah, no.
He's not going to be back.
I give it like an hour and a half.
But,
How many wings did he get? Like 30?
Yeah, 30. But
30 wings?
I think he ate, like, 25 of them.
I'd have bubble tummy too.
Hold on, this thing is, we've got to move this farther away so that it's not picking up both of us at the same time. I'm going to have editing to do on the echo. But, so what's new with you, Mike?
Nothing much. Just got suspended from school.
Yes, sir.
For a blue shirt. I can't believe that. But
We have talked many times on this podcast already about the ridiculous things that happen to us
Oh my
at school.
it's ridiculous.
Yeah, we for those of you who don't know, we did go to a private school, and a private school that, might I add you, has some of the weirdest rules on the planet. Like, I got detention one time for wearing a pair of Christmas socks on like the week before Christmas break, and they were like, "Nope, detention. You're not supposed to wear colored socks." And I was like, "That's crazy." It's like, are you serious? I can't wear colored socks? But yeah, apparently.
Some of the stuff is just so ridiculous.
It is. But earlier we were at Buffalo Wild Wings. We were talking about the baseball team. What's your favorite memory from the baseball team?
There's so many.
There's so many good memories. Our
man.
baseball team, for the record, sucks. It sucks and still sucks to this day. But like we were just all so stupid, and it was so funny.
No, it's just bad.
Do you remember that one time that Brendan almost got killed by Jacob Caudry because he threw that bat and almost hit him in the face?
No, I don't remember that.
So this was like Brendan's first year on the team. So like he sat the bench like as you do on your
Yeah.
first year. And Brendan's like sitting down, he's like kicking in the dirt, just not paying attention. Jacob Condry strikes out, comes back to the dugout, and chucks the bat up against the wall right next to Brendan's face. And then he just looks up and went, "I almost died." And then we were like on the floor in the dugout laughing.
Wait, do you remember the one time Jacob struck out and we were at MCS and he like hit the brick thing and the brick came off?
Yes.
Oh my God.
He hit the brick dugout and a brick came off of it. That was wild.
That was funny.
Dude, Jacob had some of the best temper tantrums on the baseball team. And he was the one kid on the team that would switch between the motivational speaker and then literally hating everyone on the team. Like, he would have a good hit, and he'd be like, all right, boys, let's go. He was like, you just got to get out there, and you got to hit your hardest. And then he'd strike out, and he'd be like, I freaking hate baseball. I hate all of you, and I hate this team.
Bro, he's a pretty good pitcher.
He was. Best pitcher that came through was good old Brylan.
Good old Brylan.
Brylan Wade.
Is he?
Welcome back.
No way.
There's no way you dropped it that quick. Lock the door.
I might as well have went in there to take a piss, bro. It's brutal.
Oh God.
It's vicious.
I just got it.
Struggling.
It was too late. He said, "Bro, it's bad when you're making fudge puddles and not bricks."
Yo, listen, I sat down, right?
Landon just walked into the room and his pants are still undone.
That's needed for right now. I walked in the bathroom, I sat down, I pulled up Instagram, and then I was like, It's like, I don't even have a need for my phone right now.
Bro, it was one of those grabbing onto the sides of the toilet bowl, hanging out for dear life.
One of those, like, I could have pressure washed a house,
Oh
bro.
my God. What was the PSI rate coming out of your butt?
Something vicious.
Was it enough to
Oh my
strip the
God.
enamel off the
It
toilet?
it was brutal.
Oh,
Diarrhea like a sandblaster.
Seriously.
back around to
And then I was like, these guys said it'd be an hour. I was like, I wish it was an hour long one instead of what just happened in there.
I wish it took an hour. It took 30 seconds to empty my entire bowels.
You need to fumigate or bomb that bathroom one.
30 weeks, just like that.
Oh, I'm leaving it. I'm not touching it for 2 weeks.
I would use your parents, bro. I would not go in there.
Like an exorcism for that bathroom.
For real.
He said, "Be gone, Satan."
Splash some holy water back there.
Oh my God.
You know it's bad when Satan himself is coming out of your butt.
Satan wouldn't want to be back there right now, bro. It's too bad for him.
Satan's scared.
Oh my Lord.
Ugh.
But you gotta think. Everyone's had one that's been that bad at least
I'm
once.
gonna
in
go
their
home
life.
and do it again after I eat the rest of those wings.
Oh my gosh! How many of them did you eat?
I think I have 10 left.
Oh my
So you ate
25.
25 freaking 25
Yeah.
of the jumpin' jalapeno or jammin' jalapeno. Lord, I ate 10 of the honey barbecue, and it's like I know it's not the honey barbecue that's gonna hit me later. It's the blue cheese that's gonna hit me later.
God.
That's probably what it was for you.
The spicy ranch.
Bro, listen.
The spicy ranch.
I love the spices coming in, but they're not friendly to me on their way out.
Better the second time around, I always say.
You're wrong.
Better out than in, I always say.
No.
Oh wait.
I think it's safe to say that I would have rather thrown up than do what I did in
Oh
there.
God. That must be a bad poop.
Landon told us a story on the Potty Mouth episode of one time that he pooped, and he threw up, and it was so horrendous that he threw up again.
It was because I threw up like ramen noodles, right? So it just looked utterly disgusting. And then I stood up, and I like glanced down at it, and then the smell hit me, and I was like, nope, round two.
Round two.
It went round two.
Best
Fight.
thing about it is we have a friend she has a phobia of throw up and like gagging noises. So like if you throw up around her, if you like act like you're about to throw up, this chick will literally pass out. And it's freaking hilarious. It's Serica.
Really?
Serica has a phobia of puke.
my
So like
God.
if she sees someone throw up, like she said that she gets dizzy and disoriented, and there's a good chance that she could pass out.
Next time I see him, we're gonna bend down and go. Ugh.
Just go. Oh, don't do that to Serica. She's a saint.
Oh, it was terrible, bro.
Oh, Landon, you got any news to catch us up on right now?
There's no paint left under toilet bowl.
The toilet bowl is a permanent
Hey,
brown.
can you give me a minute to gather my surroundings before you start asking me to carry the podcast this early?
He said, I just got done giving away my soul to the toilet.
Oh my God.
He needs a minute.
I'm not fit to run this right now.
So actually, one thing that we did want to talk about that we didn't get around to talking about last podcast was the guy that was featured on the cover of one of Nirvana's albums
Oh yeah.
is trying to sue
Kurt Cobain's
Kurt Cobain's estate because he claims that the picture was taken without his will and that it's child pornography.
Yeah.
Have you
so
seen the
now-
cover of the Nirvana? Okay.
So,
You've never seen the
his-
Nirvana baby?
So the picture is a baby in a pool, but you can see his penis.
Oh.
But and his parents like are the ones that gave them the photo to use. And now 30 years later, he's trying to sue a dead guy for child pornography.
Yeah, this oh, you got the picture?
No, you pull up the picture.
Oh.
Yeah, so that's the cover of the Nirvana album.
Okay.
And then this is the dude. This is the dude now. And he's trying to sue Kurt Cobain's estate because he claims that it was child pornography.
Yeah.
Which is
Sounds like he's just trying to get some money.
no, that's exactly. Did you see what that guy looks like?
Yeah.
He's definitely trying to get some quick cash. He owes his baby mama $400.
Dang.
He's probably not even the baby in the photo.
Yeah,
Probably.
He's just some random dude. And
How
he's
can
like,
you prove that?
He's like, yeah, that was me. Yeah, how do you prove something like that? Yeah, I guess you just have to have the original picture.
Probably.
Okay, I want to talk about how stupid this thing is that I just read.
Okay.
So I'm on my news app because I'm just looking for a topic, and there's this Wired post,
Okay.
and it says they watched a YouTuber with Tourette's, then adopted his tics.
What?
It's claiming that people watched a YouTuber that had Tourette's, and then
Sorry.
It's getting definitely.
It's Tourette's.
they're claiming that normal people watched this YouTuber for a while with Tourette's, and now they've adopted his tics. It's basically claiming that they caught Tourette's through watching his YouTube videos.
That is quite possible.
So now
the dumbest thing I have ever
So
heard.
apparently now random people are walking around just like, just in their most random places because they watched a YouTuber with tics.
That's just called being an idiot. Like, that's just called... Oh, no.
I could act retarded. It's not because I watched an autistic YouTuber.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, you might want to duck that.
There are
part.
3 autistic YouTubers right here.
Facts. Big Mac plays.
Big Mac plays.
MC
Wasn't there-
Donald.
Wasn't there a video?
I'm going to start calling you MC Donald.
I just love how somehow we both got names in correlation to McDonald's because we were fat as little kids.
The next nickname I got was Deuce.
Oh,
Because
Oh yeah, we did
'cause
call
my
him Deuce for a
My
while.
dad's name is Mike. Well, his real name is James, but they call him Mike. And then my name's Michael, so they called me Deuce because Deuce is like 2. And then
Deuce.
Then I wanted my gamer tag to be Deuce Got Juice, but it ended up being Deuce Juice.
Deuce Juice. That's what he just got done doing. He just got done
So
dropping.
That's an
I made an
understatement.
email called "They Call Me Deuce Juice."
Oh no! It just freaking. Okay, I'll have to edit that, but it went over it. what was your email?
They call me Deuce Juice.
Deuce Juice.
They call me Poop Water.
One of the best nicknames that we came up with for a friend of ours, was Jared Orr.
Oh god.
One year at
Skid mark.
one year in school, we were all in the locker room changing. And there
No,
was this-
it wasn't at school.
Was
it
it
was
not?
at.
It was at Strong
It was at,
Tower.
It was at Strong Tower.
it
That's
was
what
at a Strong Tower or a Camp Good
It was at a
And
Strong
in
Tower.
his room was this pair of underwear that was, I'm talking defiled.
It had the poop line where the crack is.
And we were like, Jared, are these yours?
And
And
he
he
kept-
was like, no, bro.
He kept claiming that they weren't, even though his mom literally with
Puts his
permanent
name-
marker
his
put
initials in the
put
back of
J.O.
mine.
in the in the waistband. He's
Still
like,
to
bro,
this
those
day,
are mine.
Yeah, still to this day, I call him skid marks.
I think at one point we called Michael Patty instead of Fatty.
Fatty
And
Patty.
then it was Fatty Patty.
And then it was Fatty Patty, and then he was also called like Potato Patty when he had his head shaved.
Oh,
He's had
bro.
a lot. You've had a lot of
I
terrible
really-
nicknames.
Yeah,
bro.
for real.
I wish, bro. I like, my name is like so freaking short. It doesn't really need a nickname. You know what people call me? Retarded.
I've gotten called Landy, Landonius, Lando.
I call you Lando every now and
MC Donald's.
then. Yeah, the baseball.
I remember when I first got my Xbox, like the default gamer tag was painless bag. So for a short time, Elise would call me bag.
Painless bag.
Or bag of pain, or just something about that.
What was that thing we had last year? The boulder.
Yeah,
The boulder.
The boulder. Yeah.
Yo, so many
That
good.
was more of an alter ego than it was a nickname.
The Boulder, dude, great show. I really hope that the Netflix adaptation isn't actual dog crap. If it is, I'm gonna be throwing hands with the developers.
To those of you that don't know, he's referencing Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Not the blue people. Frick the blue people.
Yeah, the blue people suck.
I personally actually enjoyed that movie, but when people try to compare it, whenever I say Avatar, I'm talking about The Last Airbender.
I also don't like how people still refer to that as the number one something movie ever. I don't remember. I think it was for visual
still to this
effects or
day,
something like that.
still to this day, it was the top selling movie.
Yeah,
Still to this day, it's the movie that's made the most money out of anything that's been published.
it's stupid.
You should just call it Smurfs at this point. Blue people.
Smurfs XL.
Live action Smurfs.
Gargamel just comes out and he's like, Did you ever watch the live action Smurf movie?
No,
It was garbage.
I never watched anything Smurf. To this day, I've never seen a Smurf thing at all.
I think I might have seen one Smurf movie.
Not
but
even
it was
the original cartoon?
No, because I'm not a retard that likes to watch 2 centimeter
Blue
blue
people?
people.
They're actually 3 centimeters.
Blue people.
No, they're not
We
3
know,
centimeters.
we
No.
knows his blue
They're
people
like
later.
they're
No,
like,
in the,
they're like
no.
the 7 dwarfs times 50,
No,
and
in
every
the-
single one of them has a certain character trait.
In the original, children's story, the Smurfs were actually the same height as 3 apples being stacked on top of each other. So they were that big.
Still retarded.
He knows his blue
Happy.
people.
I know my blue
Happy
people.
muscles.
No, it was
Freaking-
no. What was it? It was grump. It was angry Smurf, clumsy, happy.
Yeah, and then apparently
brainy.
we're just supposed to assume that all of these Smurfs spawned from one Smurf called Papa Smurf.
Yeah, he made
that
him.
wears a red hat with a beard.
He made him with magic.
No.
Because that's what we believe in.
That's the dumbest thing ever, bro.
I love magic.
I'd rather be forced to watch Cocomelon for 4 days straight
I do watch Cocomelon
Then-
every day because of my baby sister.
than watch anything Smurf. Cocomelon, at least I'm getting somewhat of an education.
I will not mark my words. When I have kids later on in the future, I will not let my kids watch Cocomelon at all.
That's the only thing that's going to be on in my house.
I will make them. I'll make them watch what I watched when I was growing up. I'll make them watch Little Einsteins and The
Facts.
Wonder Pets.
Yo, Cocomelon isn't going to be on for my kids. It's going to be on for me.
I need some Cocomelon.
He's
Need
45,
some
just chilling
Cocomelon
in
in
the
my
living
life.
room watching Cocomelon. No kid, just yourself.
Somebody walks in and I'm just like, my kid was just here. He walked away.
Yo, I swear he was here a second.
It's like, I was about to watch Die Hard.
What's the manliest thing I can think of? I was about to watch WWE on pay-per-view.
Starts humming Cocomelon songs.
Imagine actually paying to watch things nowadays. Paying to watch on pay-per-view.
If I had cable, I definitely would have bought the Jake Paul,
I watched it for
Tyrone
free.
Woodley.
Wait, I watched.
Where?
It was
We watched it at Justin's house at his
Oh, really?
party.
Did Justin buy it?
Yeah, he bought it for us, so basically I got it for free.
Yeah, I got it for free because I went to a YouTube channel that was streaming it. And there's a link in the description that I clicked on, and then it just had it for free.
Which, by the way, that fight got stole because Jake Paul did not win that fight.
Really?
It was rigged.
I don't
Did
know.
you not see when Tyrone almost literally knocked dude out of the ring?
But it wasn't considered a knockdown.
It should have been though. The only
I
thing
don't know.
holding Jake up were the ropes at that
Oh
point.
yeah,
If those ropes weren't there, he would have hit the ground.
fact. Okay, I do agree with you on that. But since he didn't get knocked down, it wasn't labeled as a knockdown.
The only reason that he won that fight is because he landed more punches. Because Tyrone also beat him in the power punch category.
Facts, but Tyrone was so passive on every single thing that he did. If he was more aggressive,
Well, Tyrone's been out of the game for a while, hasn't he?
well, that's why people think it's rigged because when he saw Jake Paul on the ropes, he didn't do crap.
Yeah. And has Jake Paul ever fought a current fighter?
I don't think so.
Because did did Jake or Logan fight Ben Askren?
Jake.
Yeah, so he fought
An
Ben
old guy in his
Askren.
40s.
He fought Tyrone Woodley, a guy that hasn't fought in at least a few months, or if
while.
not a year or so.
I mean,
And
at
then-
least Jake is moving up in opponents. You know what I mean?
Well, I could move up too if I fought 40-year-old non-boxers. And plus, freaking Ben Askren wasn't even a boxer. He was a grappler in MMA.
I mean,
Didn't you
still.
do you still do it every now and then, like
Every
where you
now
went
and
out and
then.
boxed at like
Yeah.
the YMCA or something? I don't know. Where you
I didn't go to the YMCA, but yeah, every now and then I
Where'd
do.
you go to box?
There's a place up in Knoxville.
Yeah, I went to title boxing in Knoxville.
Yeah.
I've heard of that place.
It's pretty
I've
good.
never been there.
I was boxing pretty consistently until I got my world rocked, and then I was like,
I remember that. Didn't
maybe,
you break a
maybe that's
rib?
not for me. Almost,
Well, I was training to fight Jason Brown,
bro.
and then that just never happened.
Dude, that kid'll stomp.
I
you.
would get in the ring with Jason, but
You wouldn't. You wouldn't
I-
survive.
I wouldn't win.
I mean, I'd probably go to a point, and then once I knew that I was hurting and not going to win, I'd be like, okay. okay.
Tap
I
out.
would get in the ring knowing that I'm not going to win because Jason and how he is, but like I think I'd be able to go a few rounds,
Yeah, me too. Like, I feel
or at
like,
least stalemate him if I kept my distance.
Are you gonna box Brother Sullivan? Like when you
I
graduate?
want to.
Brother
I want
Sullivan,
to.
like we were at Pizza Hut the other day after we helped out at the church, and Landon was talking about how they went did boxing or whatever, how they messed around and
Landon
did
Cass
some
was.
sparring, and then Brother Sullivan was like, "I'll fight you." He was like, "Graduate."
Brother
He was like,
Sullivan's-
"Hurry, when you graduate, we'll have a sparring session."
Me, Michael, and Landon Cass were talking about it like our
Last year.
sophomore year, or yeah,
I think
our
it was
ju-
last year, actually.
our junior year, and Brother Sullivan was like, "Yeah, we used to box," and we were like, "Can we fight you?" And he was like, "When y'all graduate." So
Hey, Brother Sullivan
the
will
deal-
get his
Imagine,
40-year-old butt
imagine
rocked.
you coming to school the next day with a black eye, and then you have to tell him, "Yeah, my history teacher did this to me."
the deal is, after we graduate, find a place, bring 8-ounce gloves, and he'll spar with us.
Dude, if that actually happens, we need to get the entire school there.
Oh, my God.
That would be sick.
The only bad thing is though, we'd have to separate it into 3 days because there's no way he's fighting all 3 of us in one day.
Who's he
Yeah.
taking first?
I think Cass wants him first.
Oh, my God.
Which I'm completely fine with letting Cass take him first.
Cass is heavy, boy. He's not even fat. He's just
He
big.
doesn't he doesn't box though. I mean he can fight, but he's not a boxer.
He like honestly, Cass strikes me more of a wrestler than a boxer.
Yeah.
Just because he's a big body and he can probably put someone down.
Cass would just, like, throw haymakers the entire time.
yeah.
Until he wore himself out. I honestly think Brother Sullivan would win that fight because Cass would be putting all of his power into every punch, and he'd end up getting tired, and then Sullivan would just come in and clean out.
Cast your votes
I
now,
don't know.
Sullivan or Cass.
I don't know, bro. Brother Sullivan's kind of old now.
Yeah, but he used to do that, bro. Like it doesn't matter if he's old or not. He knows how to do it.
Yeah, he knows how to do it. Which like knowledge versus like sheer power, I think you could probably win with that.
Because literally, if he can bob Cass's throws, because there's no way Cass is going to be able to throw haymakers for more than 3 rounds without wearing himself out.
Without
Yeah.
dying.
And then if Brother Sullivan can get in close, he can finish it.
That's crazy.
Now, you and me, on the other hand, he might have more trouble with because I think we have longer reach. Plus,
Cass definitely has longer reach than both of us.
no, I'm not done. We have longer reach, and I think you and I are a little bit smarter than to throw haymakers the whole round.
Yeah.
So we might be able to put more up of a fight, but because I've fought Cass before, knowing how he does, he's going to go full power and wear
Yeah.
himself out.
Full power right at the beginning, and then he's just gonna be done. So
I'm worried about it. though.
coming up-
Like, I want to, but I'm worried about it. I
For
think
real?
Sullivan could put me on my butt.
Yeah.
Dude.
So coming up, guys, as you know, it is now September, which means October is coming up quick. Spooky season is here, and I don't know exactly how this is gonna work, but I would like to every weekend of October. I would like to be live streaming horror games with me, Landon, and Christian, and hopefully some other guest stars. But if we because every weekend I want to be doing something Halloween related, and I want to find if you have any horror games that you've played
Dead by Daylight.
that we might not know. Dead by Daylight isn't even really that scary.
It's still a horror game.
I'm
though.
talking about like old classic first person like Outlast kind of horror games.
The Blair Witch Project. Is
We
really
could play
good.
the Blair Witch Project in VR actually.
Dying Light 2 is coming out.
Dying Light 2 is coming out in December, and that's going to be a fire game.
We could also do some Five Nights at Freddy's.
Five Nights at
VR.
Freddy's VR. So
Crap
like,
myself.
Dude, I can't.
no, listen, we put Elise Pickens in it. She lasted like 3 seconds. She was like, "No, take it off. I can't do it." And she was literally like frozen with
Me and her
anxiety.
used to play
and
Five
fear.
Nights at Freddy's
Yo,
all the time.
for
But
me,
no. Like Five Nights at Freddy, like the computer game, it still scares me. But being in it and being in the Five Nights at Freddy's office, whole different thing. Like
The
like
jump
my,
scares?
my butthole was grabbing the chair for dear life,
the
just clenched.
the jump scares don't get me that bad. It's the suspense because like you can see them in the hallway or in the vent, and I'm just like, oh god, when
So
are they
like
gonna jump?
in the original computer game, you don't actually see them like moving. Like the screen, like the camera screen goes black and then it comes back on and they're gone. On the VR version, you're watching the cameras and the feed stays on the whole time, so you actually see them walk around.
Really?
And whenever, like, you could stick your head out of the office into the hallway, and you can see them walking down the hallway. I'm talking.
Heck no.
And then if you play the first one, you know how like you have the light that you're shining down the hallway because your desk is like in front of the hallway. It also shows them. You know how like you would shine the light and they'd be in the back, and then you'd shine it again, and they'd be up front.
Yeah.
It shows them walking up the hallway to you too.
Yeah, no, like when I say I played it, like when I first got it, I played it with my stepdad, and there's this one game mode where it's like the little one, like the smaller ones. They're called the plush. It's Plush Trap. He's probably like the size of my knee, but he's freaking terrifying. All right, and like so you're sitting in a hallway, and there's 4 doors in front of you, like 2 on each side of you, and the whole point of it is you have a flashlight, and you turn it on, and you turn it off, and you have to wait for the little thing to move before you can turn it back on. And the whole thing is to like there's an X right in front of you, and you have to stop him on the X. If he gets past the X, obviously he jump scares you. But if the timer runs down and he's not on the X by the time the clock hits 0, you lose. When I first started playing, I didn't know that. I thought that I just had to survive the timer. So I'm sitting here and I'm just like holding the flashlight on him, making sure that he's not moving because he only moves when the flashlight's off. So I'm just holding the flashlight on there. I was like, this is the dumbest game mode I've ever played. It's like I just have to let the clock run out. When I tell you I jumped 4 feet out of my chair because like the timer ran out and that thing jumped at me from the other end of the hallway, and like I crapped my pants. I jumped 4 feet in the air. Dean was on the floor. He was laughing so hard. He was like,
I think the one that got me the most was even though he didn't hurt you, Balloon Boy scared
Dude,
the
I was
crap
literally
out of me,
just
bro.
about to bring that up. That was the second one, right?
Balloon
Yeah.
Boy.
Freddy's 2.
Balloon Boy
Bro.
creeped me out. Even though he would just kind of look at you and he wouldn't actually like jump
he
scare
took
you
your
and end the
batteries.
game.
He took
Yeah.
the batteries out of your flashlight.
Yeah, he would scare the crap out of me.
It's his laugh, bro. And then in the third game,
Is the third one the one where you're the kid?
the third game
and
is
your
the one where
family
you're
like
the kid
bought the
in
animatronics?
in the room, and Nightmare Balloon Boy.
Oh my god.
The balloon boy that's got like the crazy sharp teeth and the red eyes. Yeah, no, that one terrifying. Did you ever play Ultimate Custom Night,
No.
where you could have all of the like every character that's ever been created? Dude,
Frick that.
Ultimate Custom Night. There's this mode called 50-20. So like you can choose what characters you're playing against, and there's 50 of them. And then the number ranges from 1 to 20 of how difficult they are in the actual game. And 50-20 mode is all 50 characters at max level hardness. And there's only like I watch a lot of like when the game first came out, I watched tons of streamers try for hours and hours and hours and hours to beat 50-20 mode. And like for a while it was deemed impossible, and then someone, I can't remember who, but someone finally came around and actually beat it, and it
You
was
couldn't
like,
pay me
crazy.
enough to play a VR game with all 50 of them mofos coming at me.
Heck no.
Dude.
There's one game mode on the VR version, Parts and Services. I think that one is a little more stressful because Parts and Services is the animatronic is standing in front of you, like right in front of you, and it's powered down, and you have to like fix it. And if you do something wrong, it jump scares. It's like the worst game of Operation ever. It's like Operation that gives you a heart attack. So like you're sitting here in front of freaking Freddy and Bonnie, and you're like taking their eyes out and taking their faceplates off and fixing things on them. And if you do something wrong, you get a heart attack. I remember the one that one of the levels. It was like the last level. It was supposed to be like the hardest one. It was Foxy.
Oh god.
And Foxy, like you had to like reach inside of it to put the fuses inside of it, and if you touched anything around the fuse, like
bite your
operation,
hand.
it would jump scare you. And Lord,
I remember. Do you remember back in school? I don't remember. I think we were still back at the old campus, where like we were drawing those characters from like Five Nights at Freddy's, and they took all our notebooks and like got onto us for it.
Yes.
Because we were drawing like demonic figures,
How
and we
dare
were
you.
like, it's from a game.
Elise Pickens was drawing.
Foxy.
She was drawing animatronics in my notebook.
Yeah.
And they took my notebook.
now for the ASMR segment. Thank you.
What time are we at?
We're at about actually 40 minutes and 30 seconds.
Oh. Yeah, this could be a longer
We
one.
can go for another 20 minutes.
Yeah. Michael, you got anything to talk about?
Yeah, I can talk for hours. Just give me on like a certain topic and I got you.
Get your own topic, bro.
Get your own.
I mean, it was kind of spur of the moment, just like, hey, you want to come over and record a podcast?
Yeah. Leave it up to the guest
we were
star to carry the
literally we were
podcast.
literally about to walk out of Buffalo Wild Wings, and Eric just goes, "Hey, Michael, you want to be on our podcast today?" Michael went, "Sure."
Sure. Yeah.
He was
Yeah,
like,
send me
he
the
was like,
address.
let me go home and change, and I'll be over there.
I've done one other podcast and now I'm on another one. So
Hey, there you go.
Yeah, but your other podcast.
Honestly,
fell
I'd like
through,
to
and your
see
co-host
like during
crashed.
our Halloween segment where we're gonna be making videos of horror games. I'd like to see you in some of them because that'd be hilarious.
dude, no, I'd crap sandblaster all over your
new frequent
Deuce
guest,
juice all over
Michael.
the place.
I would. Sandblaster should be the new name.
So, out of all of the horror games, what would be your favorite one? Like, actually, I'm talking like one that actually like scared you and you thought about it for a while. Not like because Dead by Daylight is classified as a horror game because it's like it's like a thriller and it like gets your blood pumping and it gets you excited. The same way with the Friday the 13th game. I love that game.
Same.
But what would be your all-time favorite one that you've played?
One that scared me the most.
Because I played through the Blair Witch Project. It was a really good game.
Probably one of the Resident Evils.
Resident Evil was a very good
Resident
game.
Evil used to scare the piss out of me.
Resident Evil, I would have to go with the original Outlast. It was the very first horror game that I ever played. And it's like a 3-hour campaign.
Yeah.
And it took me, I'm talking weeks to finish this game. Because like the entire time you're scared to death that something's going to happen. And you're trying to figure out all of these things and
Wait
fix
a
these
second.
puzzles.
Is it Resident Evil? The new game with that 10-foot tall woman, Lady Dimitrescu or whatever?
Lady Dimitrescu?
Yeah, is that Resident Evil?
Yes, it is.
Okay, those are
It's
ones
the
I'm
newest
talking
Resident Evil game.
Yeah.
And I watched a playthrough of that, and it looks like a phenomenal game. And I
Have you all
want to
seen
play
that
it.
game called Devour?
about. What is it?
Oh my god.
I haven't seen
You
it.
have to like go around, like it's kind of demonic, but like you have to go around and there's this like tall woman, whatever, and there's these like
Holy crap. No way the microphone picked that up.
dude look. Anyway, there's like this tall woman and then there's like zombies crawling around and you have to shine the UV light on the zombies. But the thing is, to win the game, you have to find these goats that are in this house and get these goats and sacrifice them, right? But every time that you put in a goat, the lady gets madder. And this lady's like, by the time you get like 9 goats in there, she's sprinting through this house, bro. And I saw this for the first time. I was like, oh, that one was moving fast.
We had, when I first got the Oculus, it was New Year's, at my New Year's party. We got Colby in it, and we put him in this horror game. It was like a $10 horror game called Infected or something like that. And we got Colby in this thing. I still have the videos on my phone. It was the funniest thing, because like, he's in the headset. We're in the living room, and he's just like he's like actually like tiptoeing and creeping around corners with the VR headset on.
So with that, the thing was we were all going to take turns because there was enough game modes for us each to do a different game
And
mode.
then we just left Colby in it
to
the
where,
whole
to
time.
where that way, like, we each had our own experience and didn't know what to expect. They put me in that sucker last, right? So I was on the last game mode after watching all these dudes crap their pants. So what I did was I looked down and I just walked throughout the whole thing. looking down to where I wasn't getting jump scared. And they were
Man.
yelling at me the whole
Like
time.
a haunted house.
Yeah, we were. No, that's literally what it was. It was it was like a
You had
virtual
to, like,
haunted
find your way
house.
through a haunted house, and then there was this one point where you get to like 3 doors, right? And one says scary, one says very scary, and the other one says like super scary. So I was looking down, and I was like, why am I not going forward? And they were like, look up, you faggot. so I look up, and there are these 3 doors. I swear, I like kicked one open, head right back down to finish the thing, and they made me go through it again.
Such a
Oh my god.
And then there was one game mode where you could compete with everyone else. It was called the Gauntlet. It was every time that you played, it was a different map, and you just had to see, like, the whole point of it was just to see how fast you could get through it. With like it timed everyone, and it
And
would
then
like
at the end, it also like listened to the audio.
Yeah.
So like if you screamed or something, the game would hear you, and at the end you would be in front of like one of those like crappy fortune teller box where like you put in a quarter, it spits out a card.
but it was like the
And it
the
would-
ventriloquist dummy.
Yeah, and it would tell you like, I think it had like different categories. It was like wuss, super wuss, or like
One of them was screamer if you yelled a lot.
Yeah, it was actually pretty fun.
I still have that game. Maybe we should like bust that out this coming Halloween.
Actually, New Year's is kind of creeping up on us, guys. 2021.
2021's
going out the door.
Yeah, 2021's wrapping up.
It's crazy. I feel like it's been a really short year.
I feel that way as well. I
feel
feel
like
like
the days
I've
are
not done
long.
anything.
I feel like the days are long, but at the same time, it's just
It is going back.
yeah.
It is. 2021's wrapping up. I want to do a if we get a few more. I say a few more, but if we get a good bit more listeners between now and New Year's, I'd like to do a New Year's live stream. That'd be kind of cool. Just a live podcast on New Year's. We will be doing live podcasts in the future, you know, when we get our subscriber count up. But a New Year's stream would be kind of cool. But I'm not sure. I still gotta get everything set up on my new PC to actually be able to stream.
Should get a camera and like do
Yeah,
all that.
yeah, we've got a camera.
It'd be cool.
We've got a camera. Like I've got a new PC that is powerful enough to run all of the software that I need.
Are your parents going out of town again for New Year?
Dude, I freaking hope.
Because that
I will.
party-
At
So
this
listen,
point, I will pay them to go out of
one
town
of my
again.
favorite parts of his New Year's party was Colby. Like we were calling this dude all night. Finally shows up at midnight.
It was Justin.
No. Justin showed up at like 1. Colby showed up at like midnight. But we opened the door to a disheveled looking Colby holding a bag from Kroger. Dude walks in, throws the bag on the table, pulls out raw like hamburgers, goes straight out to the grill at midnight, throws hamburger patties on, makes hamburgers for all of us.
Dude,
What
he,
the heck?
he came in clutch because like that entire time we were playing. It was me, Grant, Landon, and who else was with us? Who else was playing? I think it was
I don't
Jason. I think Jason Brown was there.
Possibly.
But before Colby got there, we had set up like a
Oh, we were playing Pistol Whip.
no, yeah, we were playing pistol. I'm talking about the beer pong that we played, but we played it with
Oh, yeah.
energy drinks. There's this one energy drink that you can only get from one Mexican store, like out in Hispanic, out in
Mexican
there's
store.
only out in Loudon, all right. And these energy drinks are called Raptors. There's literally a warning on the bottle that says, "Do not drink more than one of these a day. Like it will kill you."
Dang.
So we bought like 12 of those, and then
mixed them with like Venoms and Red Bulls.
yeah, mix it with like Venom, Red Bull, and I think a little bit of Monster, and then we played beer pong with this
We made, like,
absolute ungodly
We made like a
concoction.
whole picture of it too. Like we poured in like two Raptors, a Venom, a Red Bull, and a Monster in this like big pitcher. So it looked like we had like a pitcher of Kool-Aid, and every time the cups would run out, we'd just fill them back up.
So literally at like this New Year's party was like, you can imagine 7 dudes wired up on this this energy drink from hell, and we were all just going, like we were all going crazy wild. Like,
Dude.
I'm talking buck
All
wild.
that caffeine and horror crap.
Oh, it was.
We all ended up getting like monster headaches from the energy drinks.
Woke up
So
woke up the next day. I feel like I got hit by a truck.
at around like 5 in the morning, we all crashed with banging headaches. Woke up the next day at like 1:30 to Eric being like, "Yo, wanna go get Starbucks?" So then me, Grant, and Justin pile in Eric's BMW to go get Starbucks, and then all just banging headaches at like 1 in the afternoon. It was actually pretty fun.
I'm trying to find videos of that night, but I'm not really doing too. I got a video of Landon trying. This was back when Landon was a little bit heavier. I've got a video of Landon trying to haul his fat butt through his window. Or also,
So
before that, actually, the first time that me, Christian, and Landon hung out with each other, it was like October of 2020, and we did like. We had some stuff going on. Are you serious? Landon's over here making faces like he's got to go poop again.
keep going.
Look, hey, Landon, do you think you can hold out for 10 minutes?
Yeah, I don't know. Keep going. I guess we'll find out.
10 minutes, bro, and then we're wrapping this thing up. I promise.
I'm gonna be hitting 80 on my way home.
Oh, frick. Dropped my phone because of you. Anyway, but it's been a while now to where we can talk about it and not really get in trouble for it. But I won't tell some things that we did that October, but I will tell there's this near my house, like down the road from my house, there's like the rich people, like the ones that have like the massive estates and the huge houses and the really big yards. It was me, Christian, and Landon one night in October. We were just out running around. And we drive past this house, and this house has, like, you know, in October, people decorate their yards with, like, hay bales and pumpkins. Mm-hmm. We were driving down the road, and there's this one big house that had, like, 20 pumpkins sitting as a decorative piece. I think we stole, like, 7 of them. We stopped the car in the middle of the road, jumped out, and just threw 7 pumpkins into my car.
Over here by mine and Eric's house, if you go down this back road, there's a Dollar General. And we were going to get drinks because we had already blown through what was here. And we passed this house, and Christian goes, "Guys, there are pumpkins there." And we were like, "Okay." And he was like, "Let's get some." So then Eric, like, whips the BMW around, stops in the middle of the road, tells me and Christian to get out as fast as we can. So we just load up the trunk.
Dude, I popped the trunk, and then I could just hear the pumpkins going thud, 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 like in the back of my trunk.
So then we don't know what to do with, like, 8 stolen pumpkins.
So
then
3 of them we kept.
Yeah.
But all of the other ones, yes.
3 of them we kept to, like, beat up in the backyard.
Yeah, and I've got videos of that. It's freaking hilarious.
Christian was like, so Christian was in the back seat at this point because we switched after the pumpkins. So he pulls down the back seat to where it opens up into the trunk, and he starts feeding pumpkins up.
Yeah, into the front of the car.
So then Eric's going like 60 miles an hour down this back road, and I'm like, "Oh God, what are we gonna do?" And so then he rolls down all the windows, and Christian's just like, "See if you can hit a mailbox."
With a zero hesitation, Christian sticks the top half of his body out my window.
Out of the sunroof.
Out of the sunroof. That's right. He sticks the top half of his body, like, standing up on my armrest. His like top half of his body is out of the sunroof, and he
pumpkin over his head,
and just chucks a pumpkin,
and then it just blows up into a million pieces on some poor person's mailbox. And then I'm like,
bro, I'm talking. When it hit, it just went woo, and took it out.
And then I'm like, all right, I guess so. So then I stick my body out of the passenger side window, and then for the rest of the night, we were throwing Mountain Dew, like we were shaking Mountain Dew
It's called
cans,
soda bombing,
and then throwing them at mailboxes, and then throwing pumpkins at mailboxes, and just wiping them out.
So for context, we're not talking about like the aluminum mailboxes. We're talking about like the brick mailboxes.
Dang.
So like we would shake up because if you threw a whole freaking pumpkin on an aluminum mailbox, that sucker would be done.
That would be hilarious.
It would break the post. It wouldn't even break the mailbox.
It would snap that thing
the
out of the
post.
ground. So Christian, we were throwing these things against brick mailboxes. So there was no real damage that happened to these mailboxes. It was just funny because of the noises that they made and the visual. Because whenever you're going 60 down a back road and some kid's got his freaking torso out the sunroof and he chucks a pumpkin at a brick mailbox going 60.
And then at one point, Christian, I'm hanging out the passenger side window, right? Eric's driving. Christian fires up like 2 Mountain Dews, shakes them up, throws them in front of the BMW,
and they just
so they
hit
explode
the road.
they explode on the road, and they shower his windshield. I have a pumpkin in my hand, going to throw it at a brick mailbox, and the next thing I know, instant sticky. like I got showered in Mountain Dew, and I get back in the car after throwing my mailbox, and I just look back at Christian. I'm like, what were you thinking? I was like, I'm gonna have to go home and shower. I was like, my hair is matted together for Mountain Dew, bro.
Imagine just the thought of like waking up on a Saturday, going to get your mail, and there's just like your it's just like sideways. There's a pumpkin beside it.
Yeah, we oh, that'd be terrible. But and then another thing that Christian did was, I mean, on these back roads at 2:00 in the morning, no one's out, not even the cops.
Oh God.
So we would like, there was one stop sign that I remember, that I blatantly remember just running. And as we're running, because like we're still going like 55, 60 miles an hour, Christian throws a Mountain Dew can at the stop sign. When I tell you, it was the loudest thing I've ever heard in my life. It just hit that stop sign and went, boom.
Then we ended up switching. So I got in the back seat. We did a Chinese fire drill.
And Christian
So
ended up in the
I'm
driver's
in the
seat.
back seat.
Oh,
Eric's
God.
in the passenger seat, and Christian winds up in the driver's seat. So now, because we wanted Eric to have a chance to throw some, so now Eric's throwing stuff. Christian hits like 80. I'm sitting in the back seat, and at this point, I'm not throwing anymore because all we have left is enough for Eric. So I'm just watching the speedometer because I'm scared for my life. And then there's this one turn. Well, it's a stop sign, but we won't talk about that.
It
But
had to have been like a 60-degree turn. Like, it was
Yeah.
sharp.
80 miles an hour. Christian, with no hesitation, like throws up the e-brake or something. He did something over here.
No,
on
he
this
did.
end.
He locked the e-brake.
Yeah.
He
Locks the e-brake,
lets up.
jerks the wheel. The back of the BMW skids and does like a Tokyo drift around this corner. Eric sits back down in the car. I'm sitting there like silent, and Christian's just like, I didn't know I could do that.
And then I looked at him and I was like, that was absolutely the sexiest thing that I have ever seen in my entire life.
Because it was one of the ones where like the back whipped around and then continued like wobbling as he went forward.
Yeah.
It was a nasty drift.
Dude, still to this day, one of the best things that I've ever done. Oh yeah, my bad. But it was that was a good night.
Yeah, it was.
Normally when also that same October we hung out like a couple weeks in a row. That October
Every weekend.
that October was right before the Trump Biden election, and there were Trump signs everywhere. And I remember we stopped and stole a Trump sign and then put it in a random field and then took pictures with it with like these weird steampunk top hats and goggles.
Yeah, we bought like fake or dumb costumes from Walmart.
And then for the Patreon and for the members of the channel, I'll put up a video of me, Christian, and Landon beating the crap out of this pumpkin.
In Jason Voorhees.
This was that night, like the pumpkins. We had the masks and everything.
Oh my God.
We put one in the middle and like
Ganged
it like we were stomping it out.
I mean, I'll show you the video when the podcast wraps up because we're about 2 minutes out. But freak! Yes, sir.
I can't get the phone to stay up.
So, and in this video, like, I think Landon is holding like an aluminum baseball bat that we would use.
Mm-hmm.
I had a Louisville Slugger wooden baseball bat, and Christian had a baseball bat that I made when I was like 12 that has barbed wire wrapped around
my
it.
God.
And we were just going ham on this pumpkin, and the noises that it would make. Like, what do you think it would sound like if you hit a pumpkin with a bat?
Like boom.
No. It sounds like you're slapping somebody.
Like skin to skin, just
Yeah, literally. It sounds like this. It sounds like, but like incredibly loud.
Imagine just like four of them at the same time.
At the end,
just louder and wetter.
it was a very wet noise for some reason. It was like, it was a loud slap. Like, have you ever slapped a tea jug? Like, you go to you have like a carton of milk and you slap it. And
Yeah.
That's kind of what it sounds like. It was a crazy night. That was a
old
good
plastic
night.
slap.
The old, I remember. Yeah. Anyway, we got to get the boys together so we can get some more stories like that. It's been a good bit since we've gotten the guys together to have a good story to tell.
Yeah, it's 'cause
Quarantine and
Christian's
stuff.
Dude, I'm like COVID, the second wave of it's coming through, and I'm not too happy about it, but I'm still gonna do my best to actually enjoy my life.
That's my favorite.
We took. For context, Landon is showing him a picture that we took at a friend's house.
Okay, I was
I'm
about
not
to
going to disclose the context of the picture.
Don't specify.
That's my favorite picture.
But we
now.
took that with her Polaroid camera while she was
Who's
there.
Polaroid camera?
Because it was funny.
Who's Polaroid?
Allison's.
Polaroid.
Oh my god.
I looked at Eric because I was holding it, and I looked at Eric. I was like, "Follow me," and then we just went in there. And
Like
we took
no
pictures.
questions asked. I was like, But there were like two other girls there. It was like Emily and Cheyenne were there too.
She just left it on her camera. That would have been so funny.
So taking a picture and pinned it on their fridge.
Just pin. We should have took like 15 and just pinned them all around the mirror.
Oh,
Just left.
that would have been great. We're at the hour mark, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in to episode 6 of the podcast. It's been a blast. Michael, any closing remarks?
Hope I'm welcome back on the podcast.
Dude, anytime.
For sure.
If you want to come and if we're doing it, just text me. Hit me up.
Bet. Let me know when episode 7 comes around.
Yes,
We'll start a
sir.
group chat or something.
All right, Landon. Guys, thank you so much. Okay. We'll catch you next time.